What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to talk a little bit about specialty sets, and one specialty set in particular that is kind of catching my eye. I've seen a couple people comment about it. I did a little bit of research yesterday that I think you guys are going to find interesting, but we'll start off with maybe some of the less interesting sets, and we're also going to take a look at a couple cards that are moving as well when we're going through this. So Hidden Fates was a set that I actually thought was going to be making a move here shortly. Now, this week's data kind of proving me wrong. Bit more supply on the market. Sales volume was down. Hidden Fates is kind of in a situation where, because it's getting up to around $400, $450, it doesn't move as often as some of the cheaper sets, but I still think there is a fairly decent possibility we see this box hit $500 before the end of the year. Now, moving on, Champion's Path actually had a great week. We're now up to almost $150 on Champion's Path, and part of this does have to do with the top hit, the Charizard V, making a fairly substantial move up here. You can see this is the 1-year chart, up around 70%. If we do a 1-month chart here, though, you can see it's up almost 25%, moved from around $220 up to around $275, and most recent sales actually a lot higher than that. $370, $341.71, $350, $300. The most recent sale from yesterday was $250, but the majority of recent sales are actually pushing $300. Where it ends up, who knows, but it's looking like this is a legit $300 card at this point, and that's definitely benefited the sealed ETBs. Now, Shining Fates, another milestone. I think this is kind of crazy, actually. Shining Fates is now a $100 ETB. It's $101.69 on TCG Player. Who would have thought? Up 113.68% over the past year. And most recent sales, you do have a lot below $100 still, but there are a lot of sales above $100 that kind of balances that out. Shining Fates, I still think it's dead money. There's way better places to put your money. It's just going to move up with pretty much every other set as time goes on. So don't be results oriented and only look at your Shining Fates investment, because there are way better places that you could put your money. And I know in this hobby, people talk all the time about, well, it's better just to hold on to your items, because if you sell them, you're gonna, have to pay fees, and you might have to pay taxes on that, and then you're gonna have to buy another item and potentially pay tax on that. So it's better just to hold your items long term. I actually agree with that for the most part, but there are items that perform just so poorly compared to other things that it probably is worth it, if you're going to be here long enough, to just sell those things and move your money into better items. And that's what I would do with Shining Fates. Even if you just bought these recently, I really don't recommend people spend a lot of money on this set. There's still a ton of boxes out there if you look at the secondary market data, which, if you're in the spreadsheet update is done for this week, so you can go check that out. Celebrations, actually one of 2 boxes that were down this month, or excuse me, this week. It was down like maybe $1 or something, so really not a huge deal. I think the other one was Shrouded Fable. It's in around $252, $253. A ton of supply out there still. It does have a fairly decent sales volume, but there are just so many boxes that I think we are going to have to wait a while before Celebrations does another interesting move upwards. But some of the cards are making a move. The Umbreon Gold Star is one to point out, and this is up to around $104 currently, with the most recent sales over the past 48 hours or so. We had recent sale at 90, but 125, 120, 122, 111. So most of the recent sales are over $100. 3 months ago, you could have been buying this card for around 60-ish USD. And if we do the 1-year chart here, it's going to be pretty ridiculous. A year ago, you could have been buying this card for about $14, $15 USD raw, and now it's over $100. So crazy run up on some of these Celebrations cards. Now, after that, Pokemon Go, everyone's favorite set. That is a joke for you guys that are new here. $94.29. It's kind of like Shining Fates. It's going to move up with the rest of the investments. I wouldn't recommend people spend a lot of money on Pokemon Go, not just for the reason that it performs worse than a lot of the other more desirable sets, but also in terms of liquidity. Pokemon Go is one of the worst selling, if not the worst selling ETB when we look at sales volume across the board. So if you had a very large position in Pokemon Go, it is going to be a royal pain in the ass to try and get rid of all your boxes if you want to exit your position or exit the hobby. So Pokemon Go, again, I kind of view it as not great money. I wouldn't say dead money, because I think it's actually in a position to move a little bit faster than Shining Fates when we just look at the amount of boxes out there, but it's not great money. There are better places to put your investment dollars. Now moving on, Crown Zenith. Crown Zenith and also 151, I kind of want to lump these together. These are really two of the only boxes that are still in a position where I think they could make consistent moves up every single week, not just like a small percentage, but fairly reasonable moves. I think that Crown Zenith ETBs, we could still see $300 by the end of the year. I think that's entirely possible. 151 regular ETBs, if they get to 500 bucks, it still wouldn't surprise me. And in Crown Zenith specifically, we've seen some of the top cards moving over the past couple months, and I'm sure some of you guys have already seen this, but the Mewtwo V-Star has almost caught up to the Giratina now, sitting around $212-ish. Kind of makes sense in my mind. This is an amazing artwork, but I think it's starting to change the conversation about how a lot of people view Crown Zenith, just because maybe a few months ago, after Crown Zenith had its move, a lot of people would talk about this set as, you know, sure, it's a great opening experience, but there isn't a ton of depth there, not a ton of top chases. But with the Gold Giratina, now over $200, the Mewtwo V-Star over $200, the Arceus is over $100, I believe, and then the Palkia and Dialga in that like 80-ish range. Then you also have the Glaceon, the Leafeon, the dogs in there as well. So there's a decent amount of depth in Crown Zenith now. And when you compare it to something like 151, they're fairly close, I believe, at this point. We're going to look at all the other specialty sets here in a second. You'll kind of get a better idea of what I'm talking about. But yeah, Crown Zenith, I think it's still going to continue moving. I don't expect it to slow down anytime soon. Same thing with 151 at this point. It's just going to keep chugging along. Now, Paldean Fates. Last week, we talked about this box not having a ton of supply on eBay. This week, somebody who had a lot of boxes in the past listed has now relisted their boxes or brought the price down on them. I think they're sitting around 325 USD and they have about 8 cases worth or something. So it wouldn't surprise me if Paldean Fates does slow down a little bit compared to some of these other ETBs. Maybe we stay in that like 300, 310 range for a while and slowly see it creep up to like 320, 330. But the set is still super strong and I am bullish on it no matter what some of you guys say. I've always thought that Paldean Fates was a great set and that for the longest time it was undervalued. I think we're at a point now where it is fairly valued, if not potentially overvalued compared to some of these other ETBs. And again, we'll get to that here in a second. Shrouded Fable. Shrouded Fable, guys. I mean, there really isn't much to say here. Not a ton of value in Shrouded Fable. Not the best set in the Scarlet and Violet era by far. I mean, that's kind of obvious. And really just no desirable cards in there. Sure, you have the Persian, a couple other ones, but nothing like over $50, I think. The Golden Vessel or whatever it is, that's like the top chase card right now. If you want to build a little position in Shrouded Fable to limit your downside risk and diversify, that's great, go ahead. But I still think there are better places to put your money. Speaking of which, Prismatic Evolutions has been on an absolute roll. You can see here over the past month, 28 days technically for TCG players. They only do this in 28-day increments. Up almost 40%, sitting around $134 currently. It's crazy because when I started to update the spreadsheet last night, it was at like $129. So again, I don't know at what time TCG Player updates their data every single day, but made even a larger jump this week, now sitting in the mid 130s. And there's a lot less supply on the secondary market this week compared to last week. And the sales volume was up again for like the 5th week in a row. And it's almost like 7x what Celebrations is now. It's wild how liquid Prismatic is right now, how much of it is moving. I'm glad I have a decent sized position in Prismatic, and I am still actively looking to add more as time goes on because the set, guys, it's going to be very, very expensive one day. Just wait until it goes out of print. And when we look at some of the cards too, there are still some cards moving that I think we should talk about. First off, the Umbreon EX is up to around $1,150, $1,200 at this point. I didn't bring up the card, but those are the recent sales on that. The Sylveon EX is actually doing something interesting, sitting around $360. A lot of sales in the $370, $375 range, but the most recent sale from today, $415 USD. So keep an eye on the Sylveon. The Leafeon, same sort of deal, $275 on TCG Player, recent sales in that range, but most recent one from today, $324.49. So maybe it pushes back towards 300. And then finally, the Roaring Moon EX, the Shinji Kanda artwork, now up to around $275, but recent sales around 300-ish. And yesterday we had sale up to $400 USD, one at $350 as well. So I would say this is a $290, $300-ish card at this point. I think that's a fair assessment. Now, I'm not sure what I'm going to title this video, but it's going to be something along the lines of investors overlook or view this product as undervalued or sleeping on it. Black Bolt ETBs. Black Bolt and White Flare were released at the same time, but I do think that Black Bolt is the better set when we look at the cards inside. And a lot of that has to do with there just being a little bit more depth in terms of the illustration rares. Then also I think Zekrom is just a little bit better than Reshiram. The Seismitoad, $215 currently. We also have the Victini up top, $455. The Zekrom HBW or whatever this is, sitting around $389. Seismitoad has come back up, as you can see. It was down to around 150, and we've now rebounded. And then finally, the Zekrom EX. I actually love this artwork, sitting around $213. The best artwork, in my opinion, in the set is actually the Kyurem. I really like Kyurem. I like the colors of that, but I know a lot of people aren't going to like it. You also have Ends Plan in here, Genesect, and Superior EX, I guess, a couple other decent illustration rares. But I was curious because someone left a comment on my video yesterday saying that people are sleeping on Black Bolt, and I figured, you know what, maybe a lot of people are, so we should look into it, look at the values. We're not going to talk a lot about White Flare, but I did just want to bring up the card list in case you guys haven't seen it yet. But what we're going to do here is look at the ETB price, top 1, top 5, top 10 values compared to some of the other best specialty sets from the SV era, and then also just use Shrouded Fable kind of as a reference because those ETBs are close in price. So 151, which for a lot of people is the best set of the era. The ETB is sitting around $404. The top hit Charizard is around $300. Top 5 value $637, and top 10 value sub 1K, $887. So not crazy in terms of the depth in the set and the card price compared to something like Paldean Fates. The ETB is around $297. The Bubble Muse more than double. The Charizard at $654. Top 5 value is $1176, almost $1177, and top 10 value is $1,288.58. So that's not bad. That's pretty solid, honestly. And when we look at Shrouded Fable, the ETB is $73. Again, the top hit sub $50. Top 10, or excuse me, top 5 value $220, and top 10 value around $360. That's horrible. That's not great in a set. Prismatic Evolutions, you're sitting around $134 currently in terms of ETB price. The Umbreon's over $1,000. It's actually closer to like $1150, $12 at this point. Top 5 value over 2K, and top 10 value almost $3,000. Now, when we look at Black Bolt, $86 ETB, so fairly cheap, all things considered. The top hit, the Victini, $457. Top 5 value of $1,350 approximately, and top 10 value of over $1,600, which is higher than Paldean Fates currently, and it's higher than 151, almost double 151. And you can buy these ETBs for a fraction of the cost of Paldean Fates and 151. Now, Prismatic Evolutions, when we compare these two sets, I understand Prismatic's a little bit more expensive, but you're getting a ton more value up top with Prismatic. And I understand both these sets as well have God Packs, but when we compare the God Pack in Prismatic to the God Pack that you can get in Black Bolt and White Flare, the God Pack in Prismatic all day, every day is way better. Everyone wants those evolutions, pulling all those SIRs. So even at current prices, I would tell someone probably to start with Prismatic. If you didn't have any of these sets, go with Prismatic. I think that's the no-brainer. Now, for comparing Prismatic and Black Bolt at these prices, I'd probably still start to get some exposure to Black Bolt ETBs, and that's actually going to be one of my next purchases, is looking for a sealed case or two of the ETBs. And again, I'm going to sound like a broken record saying this, but it is a new set, Black Bolt. It's probably going to get reprinted, and if that happens, be ready to dollar cost average. That's always what I recommend to people. Build your position over time. You don't have to go all in out the gate. But considering how well a lot of these Black Bolt cards have held up, I'm actually kind of surprised at how well some of these are doing. I think it's probably worth it for most investors to at least get a little bit of exposure to the set in the form of the PCTBs, the regular ETBs. Maybe you want to get booster bundles, but I would recommend sticking to one of those two items. But you guys let me know in the comments section down below what you think. Also, if you got some value out of this video, I'd really appreciate if you leave a like on the video, subscribe to the channel. It helps out a ton. Leave a comment down below for the algorithm. With that said, thank you guys so much for watching. Stay safe wherever you are in the world. Have a great weekend, and I'll catch you in the next one.